Okay, the Four Elements Monk is a bit more of an unusual type monk, but alas, it is strong and powerful and pretty fun. So let's jump in. This is my pure Four Elements Monk build level 1 to 12, with a combat tutorial and a bunch of items for you to use. So let's jump in, and we start with Monk level 1, which gives us Fury of Blows, one of the best bonus actions for Monk in my opinion, if not the best, as well as our key points, and these are like your spell slots, as well as a bunch of options to use them with. And for your stat array, I would have this. I'd have 16 strength to help with our unarmed strikes, 16 dexterity to help with our movement, 12 constitution, 8 intelligence, 14 wisdom, as this is really important for monks, and 8 charisma. For your proficiencies, take anything you want. Okay, monk level 2, we have 15 hit points now. An additional key point, unarmored movement. So your movement speed increases by 3 meters while not wearing armor or a shield, and we are not, as you can see. This will count as clothing. Patient defense, so attack rolls against you have disadvantage. Step the wind, so essentially these three are like your rogue's cunning actions, but the monk version, so it uses your key points to do this. Okay, monk level 3, and this is where you pick your specialization, and we start with the way of the 4 elements. This gives us harmony of fire and water. So while not in combat, regain half your key points rounded down. Really good to use after you've been in combat, if you want to just recoup some of the key points you would have spent. And for our first 3 spells, we're going to split it across the board. We're taking Fangs of the Fire Snake. So 5 to 19 damage, hit your foe from afar. Your next melee attack deals an additional 1 to 4 fire damage. We've also got Fist of the Unbroken Air. Push the target back 6 meters and knock it prone. Essentially Thunder Wave, but with your fist. Really good. And Water Whip. Possibly pulls the target towards you or knocks it prone. Again, a really good spell to close some distance, keep a ranged character from being able to pop up arrows as easy, because they're going to be stuck in melee with you. Really good versatility here. Okay, Monk level 4. We have additional key points. We have Slow Fall. So when you fall, you can use your reaction to regain resistance to falling damage. And we have a new feat available. And you can probably guess where we're going with this. We are going to start with Tavern Brawler, because I don't think it is wise to keep the monk purely as like a spell-based monk. You're going to run out key points real quick, and then you're going to really be lacking in the damage output. So we're going to do Tavern Brawler. We're going to add our Strength modifier twice to our damage and attack rolls, and it's really going to help us continually boosting up our damage. And for this, we're going to put 1 more in Strength. Don't really need to, you could do Con, doesn't really matter, you're not going to get any benefit honestly, so do whatever you feel like. Okay, Monk level 5 is where you get the big power spike early game. 1 more key point, extra attack, so we now have 2 attacks per round, and we can do stunning strikes, and these are phenomenal. A great way of nullifying enemies and make sure they can't do anything. Okay, Monk level 6, 1 more key point because we're going to pile them up now. Improved unarmored movement, so our movement speed is increased by 4.5 meters, and key empowered strikes. Now, our unarmed attacks count as magical for the purpose of overcoming enemies' resistance and immunity to non-magical damage. Another nice little power spike. Back to back, this is what makes the monk so good. Okay, at this point we're going to take the Sphere of Elemental Balance, hurl a sphere that deals 3 to 24 thunder damage, and possibly creates a surface on impact. Your other option would be Embrace the Inferno, kind of like Scorching Ray, but not as many rays. Oh, sorry, no, quite as many rays. I don't think it's as much damage though. I could be wrong, but I think it's not quite worth it. It also costs 3 key points, which key points are limited, and this is only costing 2, so I think this is the way to go. Okay, Monk level 7. Additional key point. We also get Evasion, so your agility lets you dodge out the way of certain spells. When a spell or effect would deal half damage on a successful dexterity saving throw, it deals no damage if you succeed, and only half damage if you fail. Nice way of just avoiding damage. We also get Stillness of Mind, so if you are charmed or frightened, you automatically cast Stillness of Mind to remove the condition. Another really good ability for a monk. Okay, Monk level 8. Additional key point, of course, and a new feat. So we're going to come in here. Okay, and for your feat, we're going to take our ASI and we're going to bump our wisdom up to 16. Okay, Monk level 9, 1 more key point. Advanced unarmored movement, so now difficult terrain doesn't slow us down, and we can jump an additional 6 meters. And improved elemental casting. Your affinity with elemental key deepens. Several of your offensive 4 elements features deal an additional dice of damage. Your Clench of the North Wind can hold an additional creature, and your Embrace of the Inferno fires an extra ray. So now we get 4 rays for the price of 3. And at that point, I do think it is worth taking this, because now the key to attack balance is more skewed in your favour. And that brings us very nicely to Monk level 10. Even more key points and improved unarmoured movement, so it's now increased by 6 meters. And we have Purity of Body. So if you are immune to poison and can't be poisoned or affected by disease thanks to Purifying Ki thrown through your meridians. Okay, Monk level 11, more key points, and I know I sound like I'm like, oh, more key points, but they come in very handy with a monk, more than you can imagine, trust me. Okay, and now for a spell, there are so many options you could do. Flames of the Phoenix, basically like a fireball for a monk. You've got Clench of the North Wind, essentially hold person for a monk. I would kind of avoid this though if you have a wizard or a sorcerer. I think it's better used on them. We have the Blade of the Rime, there is Touch of the Storm, there is Sweeping Cinder Strike, got Fist of the Thor Thunders, we have Chill at the Mountain. I'd probably take Flames of the Phoenix just so you do have one big damage output with your key points. If you want to remain balanced and you want to save some of your key points for Stunning Strikes and for Fury of Blows, then come more down this end and take like a Blade of Rime, Touch of the Storm, maybe even a Chill of the Mountains. In fact, that's what we're going to do actually. We're going to come here and we're going to take Touch of the Storm to show you it. Monk level 12, one more key point, and another feat. And of course, ASI, Wisdom up to 18. Okay, so that was our list of abilities. Now let's go over our items. We have the Diadem of Arcane Synergy. So when you inflict a condition, gain Arcane Synergy for 2 rounds. The Cloak of Displacement. At the beginning of the wearer's turn, the cloak activates, granting enemies disadvantage on attack rolls. Really good for either maintaining concentration if you choose to have one of those spells, or to just stop you getting hit. The Boots of the Uninhabited Kushido. So, the wearer gains an additional damage equal to their Wisdom modifier with unarmed strikes, extra 4 damage on top because we've been buffing up our Wisdom. We're going to pair this with the Vestal of Soul Rejuvenation. Whenever the wearer succeeds a saving throw against a spell, they regain 1 to 4 hit points. And don't forget, we're very good against things like Charmed and Frightened, so that will help trigger it. Armor class plus 2, even better. And we can use a reaction to make an unarmed strike against any attacker that misses. Another little way of just boosting up your damage output. And you could pair this off, for example, if you don't want to use your bonus action and spend a key point to do a strike, you could potentially just use your reaction in this case to then do a strike. Nice little pairing off to help save some of your key points. With the Gloves of the Soul Catching, so your unarmed attacks deal an additional 1 to 10 force damage, instantly buffing our unarmed strikes. Constitution plus 2, so we're now up to 14 con. And Soul Catching. Once per turn on an unarmed hit, you regain 10 hit points. Alternatively, you may forego healing to gain advantage on attack rolls and saving throws. Amazing. For a ring, Shifting Corpus Ring, not really necessary, but I do think having Blur Invisibility, why not? And then the Sentient Amulet, Key Restoration, which is what this class really needs, as well as the ability to do Shatter. So those are our abilities on our 4 Elements monk, as well as all the items, so let's go find some combat and show this off. Okay, we have started the combat, and as you can see, we are 3rd in the turn order, which isn't too bad for a monk. And we're just going to show off a very basic attacks to start with. So, 20 damage with our first attack, another 18 damage, and then of course we have our Fury Blows. This will cost 1 key point, but... And there you go, we've done 69 damage in 1 round of combat with our lovely monk. And there you go, a big miss, and because they missed, Greater Kushido counter, spend our reaction for another strike, and we get that killing blow. Okay, let's start doing some of our key point spells. So Fist of the Unbroken Air, we will start with this. And only 30%, so I wasn't expecting that to hit, but we did do 10 solid damage, and we still have our bonus action. So for example, we could do another Fury of Blows if we wanted to. And there you go, and because of that we have Grasp Essence and Displaced. So if we come into here, examine, Grasp Essence. When you hit creature with an unarmed strike, you can gain 10 hit points or choose to gain advantage on attack rolls or saving throws. Perfect. And you'd come into here into your abilities and you'd do Soul Snare, Heal. And there you go, we've healed for 10 hit points. Okay, again, more key points, so this time let's do a Stunning Strike. And now unfortunately they saved, but you can come back in and do it again. And there you go, now they are stunned. And a stunned enemy, if we come into here and check it out, cannot move or take actions, bonus actions, or reactions. So now he is just stuck there. Now ideally, you wouldn't need to worry, you could just not do anything. We are going to use our bonus action to just do another strike. And there you go, we have killed them. We could also do more Soul Snare and heal ourselves up. And we can still close some distance.
Time to press ahead.
Thanks to the monk being just insane at movement. And because we triggered the hit and they missed, again we can do another strike. And there you go. Now you probably noticed we haven't used Lae'zel or our paladin on it at all, because I'm just showing off how the monk does, to be honest, by himself. Shadowheart's obviously died because I'm not really taking the combat too serious. Because again, I just want to show you some abilities. So, we come back in with Fangs of the Fire Snake. There you go, huge damage. And it means our next strike has extra fire damage on it. So if we were to just do a normal strike, you see the 2 orange is the fire damage. And if we would come back down here, we could then use our bonus action to do a Fury of Blows. And you'll see we got even more fire damage because it's still stacked. And we can do some more Soul Snare to heal up. Okay, more spells, so let's do a Water Whip this time. And we'll try Pull. And there you go. So this is really good if you want to close the distance, get them towards you, and again, you can just strike. So we could do a normal unarmed strike. And there you go. 12 damage, not the biggest, but we have ensured that they have died. And once again, we can just start closing the distance to the next person. And there you go, Soul Catching Boon. Another attack. And you see, we took 1 critical hit, but we also made them miss. So let's come over here. And we'll do some more spells. This time, let's do Embrace of the Inferno. And there you go, seeing massive amount of damage. And that still leaves our bonus action to come in with an unarmed strike. And I missed that time, unfortunately. But you see the combination of the Cloak of Displacement and our good AC and our high DC dexterity, they just cannot hit us. It's hard to, and if they do hit us, we just heal up. Which then brings us to other options. Now we used a bunch of our spells. So this time, let's do Shatter. And what you notice about this is, not only have we got the ability to spellcast, but then we also have the ability sometimes to use our bonus action to then smack them. Now unfortunately, we haven't got our bonus action to be able to hit on this one, but we could shove. And there you go. Now unfortunately they hit the rooftop, hoping they wouldn't, but that's okay. And you'll see we are out of key points, and this is the benefit of making sure you plan your fights out with your monk, more importantly, and the importance of using our key restoration and our amulet that gives key restoration, because your key points will dry up very, very quick between your bonus actions and your main actions. Now see we have the ability to deflect missiles as well to stop our damage. And it's time for us to take the enemy out, just like that. And that's what makes the monks so good, is that they can do lots of spells and then hit with a action afterwards, so you can still get off a spell and then punch people really hard, and you can really balance out the abilities the monk have if you plan it carefully. Now, with that being said, again, once combat's finished, and if you need to, you would have to come in here, and we are going to want to do your key restoration just like that. And there you go, you'll see we've restored half of our key points there. You can also come in here to key restoration thanks to our necklace, and you see we gained 1 more. So not a lot, but we have got over half our key points back, and I think that's what makes it worth it. So that is my 4 elements monk build. If you have enjoyed, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you changed, what you do differently, what other items you'd use, what sort of party composition you'd use this in. If you haven't already, please drop the episode a like, helps me amazingly. If you're new and you're not subscribed, you'd like to, that'd also be amazing, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.